So they say pressure makes diamonds.
Pressure also makes explosions.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Resilient Gentleman Podcast with your hosts, Douglas Berger and Christopher Payton. This show is all about forging unbreakable men on a path to greatness. Welcome to the show.
So let's talk about pressure today on the Resilient Gentleman. I got Douglas Berger here. I'm Chris Payton. Pressure.
Yeah. The good aspects and the bad aspects of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, pressure for one, no pressure, no diamonds. That's a famous saying that we say in sales all the time,
Sure.
right? Or business development in general. But then what's the side effects, the negative side effects of pressure? But
Stress.
stress, right? Abandonment.
Yeah.
Bad attitude that can reflect on every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
So, but on the good side of it, you can get some high focus, determination, higher performances with it. So, but the magic in it is, how do you balance it?
Balance pressure with your goal of happiness.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously there's a level of pressure in every aspect of someone's life,
Yes.
right? I think if you're a student in grade school and high school, whatever, there's pressure to have good grades. If you're an athlete, you have the pressure to be,
Right.
competitive and better at your craft or your sport, all that stuff,
Yes.
right? You get into business and there's pressure to continue to perform at a higher level,
Yep.
quarter after quarter, month after month, or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know if it matters what industry you're in or
Yeah.
what role you're in. You go start at minimum wage at a retail outlet store, and you have pressure to get a raise in next quarter and all that stuff, right?
It's funny when you look back how much pressure we did feel in like high school and college in our early lives. And then we think back on it now, that shit ain't nothing.
I'd love to have that pressure back, right?
So,
I mean, that's a great point.
but
Yeah.
key performance, especially look at athletes,
Right.
professional athletes. I mean, that's where pressure is building some high level competition and performance.
Yeah.
Without that element of pressure to make diamonds and or the competitive aspect of the pressure, I mean, how are they still breaking records?
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, and so that, though, is probably a different pressure altogether of like that desire to excel beyond the record or excel past a marker.
Yeah.
But what if you're like trudging your own path? There's
Maybe
pressure for.
So maybe the effort level and the commitment is still alignable.
Okay.
Maybe you're in a different aspect. Maybe you're not competing in a sport because, we're old, can't do it anymore, things break.
Yeah.
But maybe that competitive awareness and drive, you can align the same capabilities and effort and determination to succeed in those pressure moments and create more pressure for yourself so you can succeed more.
Yeah.
Or get
now,
better.
so that brings up the whole aspect of, is pressure a good or bad thing?
Right. It's both for sure.
Yeah. I guess it's how you use it, right?
Yep.
I mean, certainly we need fuel for our cars, right? But we don't want fuel on our clothes, right? When used in a different space, it's not the same result, right?
So, and then what do you do when you do have that implosion from too much pressure and you feel like you can't handle it? So then it goes back to the whole basis of this whole podcast.
That's right.
Support group.
Yeah.
So what is your support base? Is it your spouse? Is it your family, your community, your church? Is it therapist? Is it exercising? Is it the right amount of sleep and all those things added to it? But pressure's for real. It's out there. I mean, you can't walk out of your door without feeling pressure. I mean, I'm taking decongestant right now because
Right.
I
Yeah,
have so
absolutely,
much
yeah.
pressure in my
Right.
head.
Yeah. Well,
I got swimmer's ear going
mentioned-
on.
You mentioned spouses.
Yeah.
We're going to have them on our next
episode, you're going to meet mi esposa.
See.
She's so excited too.
Yeah. So we will have Wanda and Sabrina on. And I will argue that for the most part, Sabrina does a good job of helping balance the pressure I
Yes.
feel.
Yes.
But there's some people and some spouses or significant others that can create pressure themselves.
Absolutely. And then even in the same relationship, you could have a very supportive spouse, but they're still going to have moments too.
Sure.
Especially if they have their own pressure, then you have added pressure.
Well, I think
And then
we
they get
dive
together.
into that conversation in the next episode
Yeah.
when we talk with them about how do they feel pressure
Yeah.
from
I
us
can't
or
wait to see
from
how my wife answers that.
Yeah,
I
right.
already have an idea.
So we have pressure. It can be good. When it's good, where is the line we should draw? Is there a way to maximize its value without
Right.
letting the pressure crush you?
Push yourself to your limits.
Okay.
And each limit you get to, then take your step back where you feel like you got to step back for a second.
So give me an example of a limit.
When you're exhausted.
Okay.
When
then I've maxed out for today.
So when you're mentally exhausted, when you
Yeah.
can't think straight anymore, we really have to just take a moment. You know, I mean, can always relate it back to exercise. I mean, you go
Yeah.
up right to the point, high intensity workout, up to the point where you're about to pass out. You know, you're at your 80% heart level max or whatever, and you're really pushing it as hard as you can. And then, you know, at that certain point, I better back down because, you know,
Yeah.
I'm getting a little dizzy or something. So maybe it's not as easy to feel it because it's not so physical when it's like a work pressure
Sure.
or a personal pressure, but you got to have the boundaries too. You got to
Okay.
know your limit, but then also you got to push those limits. You got to see what you're made of. And that's where the diamond quote comes from. No pressure, no diamonds. I mean, what's it take? Billions of years from the earth, you
Yeah.
know, compounding coal or whatever it is to create a diamond. So, and that's also the name of this podcast, resilience.
Right.
Pressure shows your character in the times of adversity.
Oh, there's no question.
It will definitely expose you as a real person especially when you're in a serious high pressure situation in public,
Yeah.
right? Say you have someone I hate to say it, but like maybe you get robbed or mugged or something like that, man, that's a pretty serious situation, you know, and your character is going to come out pretty quickly in there. Are
Sure.
you fight or flight?
Yeah.
Right. In those moments. But then if you relate that to whether it's your business or personal performances and levels of how hard you should push yourself, you got to find out.
Yeah. Well, so some of the idea, or almost all of the idea for this episode, we've talked about pressure and
Stress
stressful
and right. Yeah.
situations.
Mental health and yeah.
But I'm on the staff at my church.
Yep.
Right. The one you will come to at some point. And I'm starting with, just so everyone's on the same page, we
Am I
are
playing
making
in
progress.
Am I playing in a golf
Christian Life Church golf outing on Thursday. And so we're making progress.
Do you want to play? And I was like, all right, that's
the
him
response
peddling.
was hell yeah.
Correct.
So let's be clear, but
Baby steps.
baby steps. We're slow rolling this process of getting you there. But if it starts with a golf course, I'm good with that. Now,
Hey, God's on the
speaking
golf
of-
course.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of pressure, standing there with three other guys and trying to hit a ball the size of a,
Yeah.
Anyhow, so Pastor Ron brought up this exact topic, what you're talking about, pressure, showing your character, showing your integrity, showing what happens to you when the pressure's on. Whether it's a sticky situation that you shouldn't be in, or whether it's, when I was I remember being 15 in some months or almost 16 years old and worked at the Subway. I had to walk to work from my house, and I was a key holder.
Oh,
Well, the pressure to make sure that the register was right, that the food counts were right,
Yep.
that inventory was right, all those things, right? When that pressure's on, your integrity's in play.
And-
Certainly could have grabbed a cookie in the, you know,
yeah.
and
now you have
whatnot,
other
and-
people relying on you too.
Yeah. So he said, and Pastor Ron made the comment in the middle of the meeting, "Hey, this is a good podcast topic, Chris." And so I called you right away. I said, "Hey, let's talk about pressure and
Yeah.
how it affects us." And I think there's so many aspects of feeling pressure.
Yep.
You know, we kind of talked about it a week or two ago, the pressure that I've felt with this business.
Yep.
And that it's not necessarily doing the levels that I want it to do.
Right.
And some of that because of what we talked about. Am I doing enough?
Yep.
Likely not, right? And so that pressure to do more when we're feeling tired or we're feeling the exhausted, I'm asking you to create that line of exhaustion being, is that real? Because if I go to the gym, all right, and I'll paint this picture, and if I go to the gym, they say your body is your body is stronger than your mind. You can push your body a lot further than your mind wants to go.
Yeah.
And so are we thinking we're more tired?
Yes. We're conditioned.
So
Totally
talk about
conditioned.
that a little bit.
Can
you handle more pressure over time through conditioning?
Yes, absolutely. So you can condition yourself by practice, by doing, by effort. But you got to remember, our bodies, we're naturally lazy.
Yeah.
We want to have the easiest way out all the time. I mean, the easiest thing
Please.
to do is hop over here on the couch,
Yeah, I'm looking at the couch going, why am I not
have an
laying over
ice
there?
cream cone,
Yeah,
just
amen.
sitting there watching movies or whatever, because it's super easy.
That's right.
So that's it. You just got to take one more step forward. You got to make one more phone call. You got to make one more email. And when something happens to you in that high pressure moment, absorb it, take it in,
Yeah.
see what happens to you and how you feel from it, and then learn from that and then grow from it. But take one more step. Like, I hate to keep using analogies of working out, but you're absolutely right. When it comes to working out, you can almost always do more than you think you can.
Yeah.
Like some of those intense workouts, one more rep, when you have the trainer yelling in your ear, go on, you got another 50 feet to push that sled. Let's go. After you've already done 500 reps for 30 minutes.
So in pressure, we can see the same type of results as you could with working out.
Yes.
Essentially like getting reps under pressure.
That's exactly what it is. And then coming from that experience and then everything that you learned, how it affected you, but how you rebounded from it, how you learned from it, and then you grew from it, because it's familiar territory, right? It's like if you're a professional fighter, right?
Yeah.
So fighting somebody is a lot easier for you because you have the experience. But if you've never gotten a fight before,
Right.
you might want to walk away from aggressive pursuer.
For sure.
But it's all experience helps 100% for you to be able to
and even
handle
in the case of a professional fighter, there's a term or a phrase called the
Mike
ability
Tyson?
to take a punch.
Yes.
Right. Well, yeah, we could go back to his
Yeah.
you
can have a hell of a game plan until you get punched in the face.
right. But I mean, you build up a tolerance of punches. You're able to take a punch. Man, I've never seen a guy be able to take a punch like that. Well, in pressure, we get to a point where we can absorb
You're taking punches.
that tension. So it can build.
Yep.
And we can handle that pressure at a higher level, you're saying.
And then you got to look in the mirror. All right. So what happened? How did it happen? How did I respond to it? And then what happened further down the line? And then also, is that a controllable environment for the future? Because after you experienced it, that particular situation or whatever it is, you should be better the next time it comes up. If not, be able to handle it completely, but you can definitely handle it better and then be able to move on easier and more
That's good.
efficiently with less
I like
pressure.
that. So where do you feel like you feel the most pressure in your current life?
So
Current-
work right
yeah.
now. I mean, our marriage is solid. We're empty nesters, so I don't have any kids in the house. I don't have all that extra pressure or time demands, right? So I can pretty much focus on work,
Okay.
which is good. So my pressure with work is building the book of business, getting listings, getting businesses sold. And it's very complex and it's very time consuming and it's a very, very long timeline. And you're constantly advising through the whole process. And there's tons of pressure from buyers and sellers. Think about like a couple deals that we have going on right now. We have people that own the company for 20 plus years and we're in due diligence. We sign contracts and we're moving forward. But these people haven't gone through this before.
Yeah.
So they have literally no idea what's going on. But then you have the stress and the pressures of what's going to happen to my business afterwards. I mean, isn't that crazy? I never really thought about it to the level of, since I've been in it. People care what happens to their businesses after they're gone.
Well,
you know?
and I think, I mean, let's just say the typical business, right? We've used the plumber analogy, but they start a company, they come up with a name, they invest who they are, that it's built on all of their principles, all their character.
Yep.
And they put a level of pressure on the buyer to maintain that reputation, all that stuff.
Yep.
And so I think there's something there that, I can see why they would.
And then just the
care.
pressure of just going through the process for the very first time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Because, and then that's where the fear of the unknown kicks in. What's my future look like? What am I going to do after I sell this business?
Yeah.
Right. So there's pressure in that
that's
too.
different too. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, is this
everywhere.
enough money? Am I going to be able to survive on this? Or
Should
what
I
should
sell?
I do with the next? Yeah.
Right. And then what do I do with it at that point? Right. Do I go,
Yeah.
depending on age and demographic and all that, am I retiring or is this going to be a stepping stone into my next adventure?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, we have pressure all around us, and the better we handle it and the better we absorb it and learn from it and grow from it, then the better we're just going to continue to be. But I think we really should apply more pressure on ourselves.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, most of us probably are our own hardest critics.
Yeah.
Compared to everybody else out in public. I mean, there's still going to be judgment. We talked about that too. Like people do judge and there's probably a lot of people that think, well, maybe you're not doing enough or for whatever perspective that they have. However, that's one way to eliminate all that shit.
Yeah.
Right? Just work your ass off and make it a point that you're doing everything you possibly can. And then, your actions speak louder than words. You know, if someone's just constantly sitting around and they're bitching about not having any money or something like that, well, probably because you're sitting around.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, fair enough. So I like doing this exercise in each of our conversations is, the person, the fella sitting at home who has listened to several weeks of this podcast are trying to figure out.
Get off the couch.
They've gotten off the couch already. They put on the running shoes. They went out for the walk. Their diet's getting in check. They are being held accountable. I'm kind of rattling through all our shows, right? They've got their scorecard dialed in.
You got 12 more episodes to go.
Yeah. And then now the pressure is on.
Yes.
And you're saying
keep going. Harder.
Add more pressure.
Add more pressure. See what you're made of.
So where do I find that pressure? I mean, you can find it anywhere, right? Is self-inflicted pressure better than outside?
It's more
pressure?
controllable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if it's from within and your own personal goals, professionally or personal, whatever. But then, right, that's a whole nother topic on what do you do with the outside pressure.
Well, so we talked about last week a little bit about the circle and the relationships.
Your influence, yep.
The circle of influence, your relationships with your closest circle.
Pressure
what pressure are you feeling in that circle? Is that you took the stance that if they're not putting pressure on you and pushing you, which is a level of pressure, right? Driving you to the next level or
Yeah.
pushing you to perform at a higher level, are they the right inner circle?
Great question.
Well,
Are they?
that's a pressure
That is
point,
pressure.
right? You text me the other day and asked me about different territories that you could expand to.
Yep.
And you said this or this. And I said, why not both?
Yeah.
Why are you thinking so small? And you're,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Well,
And I
that's
said,
the
you're
same
exactly
thing.
right.
Right.
Why am I thinking small? One step at a time. However, I mean, and that comes in affordability and all that stuff
Of
too.
course.
But with that pressure from your inner circle, just like you said it, you allow certain people to give you certain pressure,
Yeah.
right? So you have a boundary with,
You have
with
to set
that.
those boundaries for sure.
Right.
Okay.
So I think that's something that we all should welcome from our support system and our people that are in our inner circle. Have those deeper conversations. You know, am I doing enough? Again, right? How can we help each other get better at whatever we do? Whether it's personal fitness to get better, whether it's your mental health, whether it's your professional, you know, your relationship. Outside perspectives can really open up your eyes a lot of times too,
Yeah.
because we don't know everything, and then two heads are better than one.
True.
This is a popular term.
So I had asked you to look in the mailbag. I don't know if you did or not. I was moderately prepared.
I was too busy checking my scorecard.
So
I so relate to that every day. I think about it. I'm like, I'm a walking scoreboard. I am.
yeah, and I thought that was pretty apropos because it challenges the way you think about life and the way we perform under pressure.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're tallying and you're that type of person that tallies wins and losses and all that stuff, then yeah, I think there's,
I mean, data, KPIs, metrics,
Yeah.
all of it's data driven. You know, it's the quickest, easiest way to measure.
for sure.
And you can pull up the apps and see, all right, this is where I was last week, or this is where I was 6 months ago. This is where I was, you know. It's very quick picture of where you're at performance wise. And you can implement those same structures in your business life too.
For sure. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you should,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know.
I mean, if you have a really good boss, or if you have a really good mentor or coach or something like that, that's exactly what they should be diving into and creating more pressure.
All right. So I kind of like this one. A couple different ones dropped in here, but this one's it might lead us into the
Was it from your pastor?
episode. No, this one's not from my pastor. I'll ask him to drop a mailbag question in for Douglas. If you had a warning label, what would it say?
Oh, huh. I'm running a little hot. Definitely when I was younger, for sure. There would be, you know, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I mean, I've gotten better at managing those and containing them as the older I've gotten. But yeah, man, temper probably could have been a warning sign,
Yeah.
especially when I was younger.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about that, and that probably would be similar to me over the last my first 40 something years, but I think mine would probably be caution, sarcasm ahead.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I'm a pretty sarcastic person
Okay.
when it comes to, and there's a lot of people.
Yeah, sometimes it takes me a minute to read a text. Like, is he being a smart ass?
so Brenda says all the time, like, you cannot respond to group messages because It's usually a sarcastic response, and most people find it
Yeah.
the lowest form of wit.
Yeah.
So-
Other than that, I mean, I think that would be, at least that's what coming off the top of my mind. If I dove into a little bit more, I'm sure I could have a different warning sign now. But yeah, man, the temper was for real. I mean, I think I fought my way through elementary school, middle school, high school. Everything was reactionary and physical altercation.
Yeah,
You
gosh.
know, glad I grew up from that.
So have we're continuing the lunches on Fridays.
Yep.
We've kind of maintained the Jefferson spot. I
Yeah,
don't know if you're gonna want to switch that up in the future.
probably, but we'll keep it close.
Okay, sweet. So you can always join us Fridays at noon.
Yep, we'll be there.
Right now at Jefferson's. And if you're not following along on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
All the above.
subscribe to Spotify. You can subscribe, I think, on Apple Podcasts too. I mean, everywhere podcasts are streamed. We're trying to.
And shoot a message to Chris and ask him how his pressure's going.
Pressure's not going good. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get there. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Look forward to our next episode where we
Yeah.
bring in Sabrina and Wanda into the mix
To get to meet
find out
True better halves.
how we became resilient.
Yeah. Or we'll find out why they're so resilient.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Resilient Gentleman podcast. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, and of course, please leave us a 5-star review. We will see you on the next one.